Check, check, check. Check, check. Check. All right, let's take a look. Let's see, are we even live? All right. Looks like we are. Ask any questions you want. I will teach it live. Wow, the font on that's really, really big. Change that. Go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into Lightroom here in just a second. And we'll be able to show you guys how I edit and what I do. Should actually be awesome. Let's take a look at the stream first. Make sure that's going well. Perfect. Let's see. We'll get started here in just a second. Give people a little bit of time to jump in if somebody wants to, so we don't have to start from the beginning for them. All right. We'll get started here in just a sec. Want me to use a lower bit rate? Why would somebody want me to do that? All right, let's get into it. Desktop view here. Let's go to that. Sweet. My ultra widescreen monitor is a little bit wider than most people are used to, so I'm going to be kind and keep this in a very friendly aspect ratio here. Turn off this. All right. All right, so right now I'm going through my photos. I'm going to be culling them first. I have the album open and ready to go. I'm using the View Edits Plus album. I got 221 photos I shot yesterday. Going through a lot of stage photography for this. So there's going to be a lot of resize here. Yeah, a lot of stage photography, which is good. You know, I love stage photography. It's more difficult to teach, which means it's more fun. So I don't mind at all. All right, so we're going through these photos. Let's take a look. Let's see what we got here. Eyes are open. Photo's a little canted. That's okay. Keep going here. I'm using the mouse and keyboard, just FYI for everyone's information. Use a mouse and keyboard, left and right, my 2 fingers here. My other hand on my pointer, I got the P key there, and then I've got the U key on this finger. That's to unselect, unflag anything. So I'm only going through these photos and I'm just flagging what I want to actually keep. And then my other finger, I can quickly unflag it if I accidentally press something or I don't like something or I want to change it a certain way. So I'm going through. What's great about this keyboard setup too for your hands, this part of my hand right here rests on the actual space bar. So I can hit the space bar real quick, boom, and it'll zoom in on the photo just like that. Zoom, yeah. So that's what I'm doing there. I zoom in sometime just to make sure I got focus or to see where eyes are at. Does suck I have to take my hand off the keyboard to move the mouse for those, but I want a picture of all of them here. I think I like the wider angle of this one. I'm gonna pick that one. His hand's covering her face perfectly. I don't know, is he blessing her? I think he is blessing her. Let's actually keep that one like that. This one too. Looks like they're covering their eyes. I think I'll surprise them with something. Big reveal. You got a house. That would be hilarious. Put the mic down and out of the way a little bit. All right. Like this one, hands are out. People are praying. Lighting changed there for a second. Not sure. Why did it change? What happened? Oh, I went to 4. To have 4 here, brought it darker. That's okay. I wanted to make sure that what was I at before? 2.8? Oh, then I went to 4. Okay. Smart move to go to 4. I should have corrected ISO a little bit. That's okay. Rather be darker than lighter. Right? Too dark is okay. Too bright. That's where you start running into problems. Ah, that's a good one. I like shooting through people, right? He's speaking. She's smiling. That's awesome. Oh, looking at her little girl. That's cute. And then a smile, too. I don't know what Tyler's doing here. Okay, we could see everybody in this one, right? As opposed to this one where we're starting to cover people up, which I don't like. Right here, we got a nice wide angle. I'm shooting this at... show me. 24. Shooting this at 24 millimeters. I like 24. Hugs. Chatting. Omar giving talking. Let's make sure he's in focus for some of these. Like that one. Like this one. Guy's kind of yoked. Zoom out, make sure I get the crowd here. I like shooting above the crowd for some of these. Sometimes I'll go halfway up the aisle. I want to make sure, though, this is a big point too. You want to make sure that when you're shooting in a in a room like this where you have a crowd, for this particular client's a church, you know, that when you're shooting through the crowd, that you're making sure you're shooting through areas that are more full of people, so that way you can give a sense of how many people are there. See, when I raise the exposure here on this one, which will correct this photo later, but right now you can see that I'm shooting through a lot of people here. There are some emptier gaps in some places because people like to congregate together. You know, they want to sit with family and friends. Don't shoot over empty gaps. Make sure you're shooting over heads, because that gives them more a bigger sense of fullness to the room, which is what you want. Smiling, but his eyes are closed. I want to catch him when he's on this side of the podium. Looking right at me. I love that. Like that one. Talking, you want to make sure you don't get them doing weird stuff. Their mouth, you know, kind of makes it more difficult. Just speaking here is good. Yeah, I like that. I like the smile there. Want a little bit more hand animation. Like this is good. This one's good. Yep. That one's good. I love his expression here. Keep that one. Good side profile. Side profile sometimes makes for good black and white photos too. Looks more intense here. That's okay. As we keep going through, you notice I'm trying to get different different focal lengths. I'm trying to get different horizontal or vertical shots. I want to try and vary as much as I can, because when you're delivering to a client that is going to be able to select the photos they want to use, you want to give them as much variety as possible. That's the big thing, is variety. So this one, we're starting to get some blur in the hands as the hands move around because we're shooting it at a lower shutter speed. That's the 1/160th. You can see that's going to be, you can see that up here in Lightroom. So I could see everything that I shot this photo at up here, right? Including the histogram, which is awesome. So I shot at 1600 ISO, 70 millimeters, f3.2, 1/160th. So that 1/160th, we're starting to get some blur in the hands. But I shoot at 1/160th for this stage particularly because their stage lighting isn't strong enough, and I'm pushing ISO. I'm already up to 1600. I don't really want to get any higher than that. So I don't shoot higher any faster than 1/160th for this. I just can't. It's the trade-off of noise over motion blur. So I gotta, some of these photos, you know, you'll end up with motion blur on the hands, which is not preferable, but that's okay. Like that one, like that. Try and keep it with eyes open. Speaks a lot with his hands, which is good. That's good for us as photographers. Why is this photo out of focus? It's weird. Do I get another one with them? Yeah, there we go. That's in focus. It's like doing a curl, bicep curl here. I'm gonna put that one in there because it just looked cool. Doing a bicep curl. Stop slouching so much, boys. Yeah, sitting in these chairs for long hours doing photo editing, you know, you start to slouch. Try not to. All right, looking up. That's a good one. These are all going to be relatively easy to edit because when you shoot in the same lighting, the same area, the same perspective over and over again for one shoot, you can edit one photo and you can kind of transfer those settings over to each one. Obviously, you have to tweak each one individually, but the majority of your editing can be done on the first photo, and then you can kind of breeze through them after that. You'll see how fast I work when I edit sections of photos. I like that one a lot. I like the resting hand, the hand in the pocket too, the speaking. Take that one too. Okay, we got them singing. We kind of bring her more. I'm trying to use my camera here to see. Oh, that way. I could kind of point at photo right here. Perfect. Okay. I can bring the lady on the left into focus more here. Bam. Take that one. Kind of cutting her off at the knees, which is kind of weird considering you see everybody else's feet. I'd prefer to see everyone's feet at once. Like, this is good. That's a good one. Jessie playing bass. We got her with her hand up. She's in the main focus here. Okay, this one's better. Can make her dance to music. This ain't a bad. This ain't a bad music playlist on here. Some copyright-free stuff on Spotify. Ran over this lady. Yeah. Like it. I like it. Looks good. All right, we got speaking here, see if we can get eyes open. There we go. Kind of like the negative space at the top of this photo up here. I'm learning how to do it with the camera. Sorry guys, I don't stream on YouTube a whole lot. I don't make a whole lot of videos, so I'm kind of new at this. I like the negative space up here above her head. That's good. I'm gonna keep that one. Kind of like her hand up though here too. No, but if I keep her hand up in this one, I'm gonna have to get some of that blue screen on the right side edge of the photo in. I'm gonna have to keep it in. It's gonna be really hard to cut that out without cutting off too much of her body, so I'm just gonna. Like the negative space here. I almost like this one more. That one's better. All right. So that's all our photos culled, right? All I did was just flag them. I'm just flagging the photos that I like. P button for Lightroom Classic. Right? So now what I do, I go to the filters down here at the bottom. Right here. And I'm going to select every photo that does not have a flag on it. So that's going to be this middle button. So I'm going to have to press twice. Once to highlight this bar down here, and then press it again. You'll see all the photos shift and move. Then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to press grid view so I can see all of them. Now, as I scroll through all these photos, I can verify that none of them have a flag on them. I don't do this every time because I've done this process so much. I trust Lightroom. But you can see here that none of these photos have a flag up here in this top corner, which means they were not the ones selected and flagged. So now I'm going to hit the top one. I'm going to Control A to select them all. I want these completely removed from my computer system. I don't need to keep them because I don't keep these extra ones. I would keep these extra ones if it was like a wedding or a really high-paying client, just so I have those options for later on. I don't want to keep these ones. Control Alt Shift Backspace permanently removes these from Lightroom and from my computer. So that's what we're doing here. Let that happen. You'll see the bar up here in the top left. This computer's pretty fast, so it's pretty quick at removing all 100 and whatever of those photos. Now, this freaks a lot of people out. Once it's done deleting, you'll all of a sudden notice that there's no photos here in Lightroom. Don't worry. Lightroom's just doing exactly what you told it to do, which is show you all the photos with no flag on them. Well, now you have no photos with no flags on them because you just deleted them all. So, of course, it's going to show you nothing. You got to come back down here to filters and turn off that show me photos with no flag on them. Bam. All your photos come back. So don't freak out. All right, let's move into start developing these. I like the warmth in this photo. It's a little on the green side. You can see this wall has a little bit of a green tint. I'm going to move over to my loop deck. Here, I'm going to pull that down. Pretty nifty little device where I can control all these sliders over here on this side with dials, physical dials down here. So I like doing that a lot. Let's take a go to the tint. Let's make it a little bit more pink. Nothing's actually moving right now, which is kind of weird. Okay, let's go back to library. Back to develop. There we go. Now we're good. Right in there, plus 17. No, this is going to be a little too pink now. 12. Control's good. Let's bring a little bit more exposure into this. Let's add a little contrast. Let's bring those shadows down just a little bit. Let's bring those highlights up slightly. I don't want those too bright. Okay, I'm actually going to bring the highlights up, shadows down. Perfect. Let's bring a little bit of clarity out of this picture. Soften it just a little bit. Right. I'm going to leave a little bit of the grain in there. You can see it here on his ear, on his neck. Grain's popular nowadays. You just got to go with the fad, right? Remember like 2 years ago, if you had grain in your picture at all, people judged you? Wild times. All right, on a stage photo. Stage photos are easy because I have a preset here. Like my preset, it kind of takes a little bit of the blue out of the photo. This photo is a little too dark, so I'm going to raise this. Get her skin right. I don't want too much of the ceiling and floor showing. So sometimes you'll, instead of raising for stage photos, instead of raising the entire photo with overall exposure, you'll raise the highlights. That makes their faces and whatever the light is shining on pop more. So use highlights more. Don't worry about all this other stuff and it being canted and stuff like that. That's for the third pass. The third pass over my photos is where I handle cropping and adjusting those kinds of things. Right now, I'm just handling light and color. So I like this. All right, let's go here. Let's go to stage 2 again. This one's always going to be darker because they're sitting in a darker area. I'll raise this a little bit, raise those highlights. Okay, the highlights seem to be focused here, so I really want to raise the midtones. So I might go to the tone curve, lock those there, and maybe raise this mid up just a little bit. Not too much. About there. A lot of purple in this. I don't like so much purple. Let's go to the color mixer, go to saturation. Let's go to purple, pull the purple down just a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. I want to keep the skin looking natural. I might pump a little bit more orange into this. Keep him from looking like a ghost. That might be a little too much. There we go. That's probably right about there is good. And keep that skin looking natural. I don't want to create zombies here. You don't want zombie people. It's too easy to do. All right, now we got that one done. That looks pretty good. Let's go to the next one. All right, let's hit that stage one again. This one, we're going to have to bring up the brightness. Actually, I might even select him. Let's use a mask. Let's get him. Select him, boom. Raise the highlights on him a little bit. Overall exposure. Look at that. We just pulled him straight out of the blackness. Straight out of the blackness. Perfect. Let's go ahead and go back to the color mixer. I don't like the purple. Too much purple on him again. Do the same thing we did with the other one. Pull some of that purple out. What about there is good. There's not much you can do when it's a straight purple light blasting somebody. But that looks good. I like that. All right, back to stage. Boom. This photo looks a little flat. Let's raise the highlights a little bit. There we go. There we go. That looks a little flat. Why did I take it at such an angle? Man, that was really... It's going off this way. All right, that's good though. Control C this one. Now I'm just gonna start Control Ving on some of these photos. Let's see. Oh, way too bright. Let's Control Z on that. Let's just use the church stage. Okay, we're just gonna have to bring it down. It's okay. Bring it down a little bit more. You think right about there looks normal? I feel like there's not enough saturation in the skin. Let's go back to the color mixture. Let's go back to saturation. Saturate a little bit more orange in there. All right, I like this. This song is awful. It's not too loud. Let's take down the Spotify volume a little bit. All right. So now we got this one. Okay, this one looks good. Now I know I'm going to be taking photos of the same group of people in the same general area on the stage. So I'm just going to Control C, just copy all the settings from this photo. And I'm just going to start pasting all the other ones and doing micro adjustments as needed. Control C, I make sure I have everything that I want selected. I don't use the crop or the masking because cropping and masking changes from photo to photo, but all the rest of this can stay on. Hit copy. Control V. Okay. Kind of flattened it out a little bit. I may take down the shadows just a little bit. Okay. Control V. Looks good. I purposefully edit my photos a little bit higher on the exposure because I know that's how this client likes it. Still gonna bring it down a little bit. They're still gonna take my photos and overexpose them even more and desaturate them, but that's their creative prerogative. Take down. There we go. Right there's good. I think there might be too much pink in these. To be honest with you. Let's take the tint down. About +2 is probably good. The rest of these. There we go. That's better. So +2 on the tint seems to be about what we want. Okay, so this is good. A little flat. I'm gonna bring out the highlights. Bring them out a little bit. The shadows look a little too dark. Let's bring up the shadows just a little bit. Just bringing it up a lot. A little bit. Bring it down there. Yeah, I think that looks good. Perfect. Perfect. We're getting somewhere, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring this back down to +2. Let's Control C this. This is going to be our new standard. You got to be careful when you do that, though, in a series of photos where you start like fixing one photo, you go forward 3, you fix a little bit more. You're like, this is what I want the rest of them to look like. Because then that's how you start straying, right? It's like a ship that you turn the wheel just a little bit. 100 miles from now, you're going to be very off course, so you got to be careful when you do that. But for this series, I know what I'm doing, so I think I'll be okay. All right, Control C that. Let's have that go for the rest of these. Okay, you can see the difference though, right? This one to this one, the highlights all of a sudden darkened up a lot. So bring up those highlights a little bit again. There we go. Which brings more dimension to the photo. If anyone knows more about photo editing than I do and want to shoot me a comment, let me know if I'm doing something that they would do differently or anything like that. I am 100% game to learn from other people, so let's bring these highlights up a little bit. I don't want to blast him too much, but I don't really have an option here. Okay, this must have been when I went to F4. So now I just bring up the exposure here. I went up to plus 1.89. That seems right. Let's go up to 2.14. Yeah, I think this feels good. This feels good. Let's Control C that. This photo will have to be completely different. Let's Control V on this one. That's way too bright. All right, let's go back here. This is the one we want to copy. There we go. That's like, okay. This photo is just our one-off random. So let's go ahead and fix this. Bring out the brightness on that. Bring over the warmth. This one we might have to use. Oh, everything's out of focus. Well, it's just super grainy, That's okay. The room's completely dark here, so you just like do what you can. Let's use the Lightroom denoise. See how it does. Denoise should be super fast on this computer. Considering I'm running a 5080. Okay. Okay. Let's bring it down just a little bit. People look a little too much like putty. Up just a little bit. I think right about there. There looks good. Saturation on everything in this photo is way too high. Let's bring that down. There we go. And this pink shirt is just it's killing me, Smalls. There we go. Just so that it doesn't blast us out. Go. That's better. All right. This photo is almost passable. Add a little bit more warmth into it. Yeah, there we go. A bit more of a golden light to it. There we go. I like that. That's looking good. All right. This one, let's bring up the highlights just a little bit. What are we hitting? We're hitting the back here. Okay, we might have to do the mid-tones again. Didn't mean to bring that down. And what is going on with the saturation of this? Okay, actually it looks okay. I want to just make sure her face is like the focus here. Let's bring down contrast a little bit. Yeah, -16 here looks good. So here's the thing with stage photos, right? A lot of them are already going to have built in, just because of the way stage lighting works, super high contrast. So you got to prepare for that. A lot of the times it's easy to over contrast your stage photos. The great thing about stage photography is the sky's the limit when it comes to your creativity and how you want to edit those photos. You can get super creative. You can hand a stage photo, the same photo, to 5 different photographers, and they'll edit it 5 completely different ways, which is awesome. That's what's so much fun about stage photography, right? Is that you have that creative freedom to do that kind of stuff, but just be careful with it, you know? Go. Like this. I want to bring the exposure on this whole photo up just a little bit. Go. Make sure it matches this one. Doesn't quite match. There we go. That matches closer. Let's Control-C this one. Remember, keeping themes consistent. I like this one. I have to bring highlights up on this one a little bit. Tyler looks like he got sunburned a little bit. Oh, well. Go. Go. Okay, copy and paste on here. You can tell because I went to a different angle. I'm further away from our subjects, and I used the different focal length. You know, lighting's starting to change. You know, so you got to adjust for that. The key is consistency. You want your photos to look like they were taken at the same time, same place. There we go. All right, now we're into auditorium again. I have a preset for auditorium that apparently is way too blue. Let's go ahead and grab this other photo. This one. Just go ahead and apply it here and see what happens. Let's see. I'm guessing it might be too bright. It might actually blast it. Let's see. Yeah. I suspected. Other than that, this photo is looking good. A little on the pink side. There's a lot of pink coming from that stage lighting. Let's add a little bit of green in here. Makes the skin tones a little bit more natural. You're not going to be able to fight a light, right? If a light is purple, a light's purple. But you can offset some of the negative effects of it. Let's take this one. Control-C on this one. Come back here. Control-V on here. Let's see how it looks. This one should be almost perfect, I think. Wow, look at that. that. They look a little too much like putty. Let's go ahead and go to detail. Let's turn down the denoise. There we go. Same with this one. She looks a little too much like putty. Let's turn down the denoise. Turn it down until you see a little bit of grain. That's the key here. You know, you don't want people to know that you had to denoise a photo. Not that you can't tell them. It's not a secret or anything. But just like, you don't want the eye to look at it and just be like, oh, yeah, that was denoised. Right? There we go. Right about there. This one. You can see a lot of what denoising does, especially Lightroom's super powerful version in the clothes, right? When you start to lose texture in the clothes, like her arm here, super denoised. So I bring it down. No, most of the time you're going to have to turn it down, which is not a bad thing to do, right? Right. Let's go to the next one. All right, we're back to the stage, right? But now we're in a new series of stage photos, right? We have a new speaker up here. I'm shooting from different angles. Start over. Stage 2. I'm going to turn brightness up on this. Not a great photo here. See this? This is what I was talking about earlier. All this empty space here. Shouldn't have shot this angle. I correct myself. I think. Coming over here. Let's Control C on this one. Control V on here. Still a little bit. Okay, I'm still shooting for the same place. Still some empty seats here. Not really what I want to show off, right? There's a lot of mist and pink. Let's change the tint. Yeah, I think we're getting back to -2 again. I need to dehaze this a little bit. Basic. The dehaze on 8. Yeah, I like that. All right, let's do this. Dehaze on 8 here. I shoot with a mist filter on. I love the Polar Pro Everyday filter. It's awesome. But sometimes you have to correct for it. Gives you a lot of mist. I think I need a little bit more contrast in this. Go. See the crowd a little bit. Too bright. Way too bright. Down. There we go. Looks good. A lot of these too, you'll see that I do take out saturation. I don't like my photos being oversaturated. Too much green in the skin. Turn that yellow towards orange. Let's go to hue of yellow. To orange. Orange to red a little bit. There we go. That's a more natural skin tone. There. Perfect. Let's Control C this one. Let's put it back on this one. You don't want to stray too far. Stray a little bit. You stray too much. The whole ship is off course by the end. Okay, here we go. See, I did a little bit of work in the beginning, which means all of these ones are starting to line up nicely. Yeah, so this will happen though. The contrast is what the problem is here. Let's take down some of the contrast. Go like -10 on this. Yeah, I think that's about good. See, I got good highlights on his skin. The dark isn't too dark on him. Yeah, I think that's gonna be good. All right, let's copy this for the rest of these, because these are all gonna be shot in the same. Bring up the highlights here. highlights here. If anybody knows more than me, feel free to jump in and let me know. Ooh, it's too green. Too green there. What's happening? There we go. It's more natural. Take that one. Paste it on these. Go. Too zombie. Just a little bit. Just a little bit back in here. There we go. All right, now I can take this one. Let's see. See if it's going to work. All right. Now remember, we had some over here that were already in the same shot in the same perspective here. So let's go ahead and put those ones on. Yeah, see that? That looks better. Because I've already shot from this distance. I've shot from this angle and this lighting. So just use those settings. Again, let's raise the highlights here a little bit. I want to let his face to pop a little bit more. Same. There we go. So I know this next couple are going to be the same. Actually, the highlights on this one might be too high. Okay. A little too bright here, a little too bright here, right? That's what we got to look at. Okay, let's get back here. So shooting through the crowd again. Remember we edited for some of these already. So let's go ahead and take this. Come back here. Don't do the work again if you don't have to. You have to raise the highlights a little bit here. Make him pop a little bit. Saturation on the skin might be a little too much. I'm not 100% sure, but let's see. Like that, looking straight at us. It's a good photo. Okay, we kind of got the same shot here to here. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Much better. Little too bright though. However, the saturation on the skin there is looking a little too low. Might add just a little bit of saturation back in. There, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That looks good. Next couple will be the same. All right. Same shot in the same lighting for the same distance. These should be pretty good, pretty close. A little too bright on the highlights here. See on his arm here. It's the closest thing to the light. So we're going to have to bring that down just a little bit. Go here. Let's get the same thing. Probably bring the highlights down just a little bit. That's good. All right. Stage photos now. Boom. Bring down the too much highlights. Her shirt is kind of blown out a little bit. Right about here looks good though. Yeah, this will be good. All right. Again, shooting the same. So like, why redo everything? Just go back one photo, copy the settings, come here. Control paste. Control paste. Control V. Boom. Not much changed here. It's the original. It's edited. Original. Edited. That's how you know that you're actually like shooting something with the right, exposure and stuff. It's always good. All right, we got a picture in the front where everything's very purple. Remember, we edited a photo back here where everything was very purple and weird. So let's take this one. Let's go up here. Let's just paste it and see what happens. I think this might get us close. This isn't going to be perfect, but it's going to be closer. Okay. Noise is looking good. It's a little puttyish. A lot of purple. See if we can add some warmth back in here to start offsetting the purple a little bit. Now let's go to tint. Let's take that more towards green. There we go. Now we're getting a little of that purple out, right? A little bit too high on the highlights up here. Let's take the highlights down just a little. Okay, we might have to take whites down. Just a little. There we go. Kind of like how he's lit up here, though. Just don't like that it's that bright. Let's bring up the overall exposure. Here. All right, all right, all right, all right. We're getting closer. Still a lot of purple. Let's go to the mixer. Now let's play with purple a little bit. Let's bring that out. There we go. There we go. That's getting better. Still a little too yellow on his face. A little too bright on the highlights here. What if I did a radial mask? And then brought down highlights from there only. Shift M. Make it nice and narrow. Angle it down. Just here. Boom. Let's bring down the highlights in here. That's looking a little better. All right. So let's see. The highlights on his side of his head still really bright. Here, I could do a luminance mask, bring them down individually if I wanted to. I don't think I'm going to do that because I don't care quite that much. I think I'm just going to leave it right about here. I think right about here is going to look good. All right, more stage photos. Let's go here. Control C on this. There we go. One more. A little too bright on her. There we go. All right. So second pass is done. Now we go through and we cull. I'm sorry. Culling was the first. Editing for light and color was the second. Now we're going to go through and crop and adjust our photos. The reason I do it in passes like this and don't do everything on one photo at a time is because of one huge thing that every photographer will tell you that has ever edited photos for a long period of time. If you look at the same photo for too long, you start to go crazy. And you'll start to like move stuff around and you'll start to like change sliders that you should never have touched. And it just becomes a nightmare. Don't do that. Okay. Do it in passes. Save yourself your sanity. Right. So like this photo, I can tell it is kind of good. Because this wall right here, I love the green pop of the plant. I don't know if I'm going to really adjust this much. This line right here is the only thing that might end up screwing me. So I'm going to kind of adjust a little bit there. Too much. I think right about there might be good. Let's see. See, then this one starts to, so I'm going to have to like tilt this photo. So let's go to lens corrections. Let's do enable profile corrections first, because sometimes that'll fix things. There we go. That might have actually fixed it. Let's see. It's so close to being fixed. Oh, leave that there. Yeah, there we go. I think that's looking decent. You can kind of put a line through the mirror and see that the photo is kind of skewed a little bit that way at an angle. It's okay though. We're not trying to be absolutely perfect. This one massively needs to be fixed. So I'm using the lines of the booth back here as my guide. You can tell it's still sort of at an angle. There we go. Yeah, right about there is good. I don't like how I got too much stuff in this photo, so I'm going to 16 by 9 this one. Most of these are going for social media, so that'll be good. There. No, I might throw a preset on this. I think I want it from concert. I'm liking the fade. I've been a big fan of the faded look a little bit. This one might have too much purple in it. Problem is I don't want to get too crazy away from my current editing style, so I might... This one's just got so much purple. Can I bring this back towards yellow? Ugh, no. Too much. Right there. Let's go. Let's bring down some of the orange saturation again. Okay. Now let's bring down a little bit of. Let's go to the blacks here. Let's raise the blacks. Right there. Okay. Now we can play with set that one. No. Oh my goodness, this is the only thing I hate about Lightroom. Trying to grab these sometimes is... There we go. Lift those blacks just a little bit. Let's raise the mids just a little bit. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I kind of like that. I like that faded look. You know? All right, there. This one's better. This is better. I like this. It's the original shot. Edited. Original. Edited. Yeah, so I'm just fading this photo a little bit. Get more of a mellow vibe from a photo when you lower the contrast like that. Raise those blacks just a little bit. I like this photo. It's just, this guy's just happy. I want to take out some of this white wall though. Let's go 16 by 9 on this one. Let's lower this down just a little bit. I want to give his body some equal room in here. I want to cut out just her back of her legs, trying to get him lined up kind of in the middle. And now I want to line this up with that line of the drum booth. Much better. Much better. I kind of don't like that water bottle there, but I'm not going to waste time. 16 by 9 this one, line it up. Yep, that's good. These ones I'm going to let them crop them themselves, but I will adjust for... Oh, nope. I think it's right about there, actually. There we go. I'll let them adjust. I'll adjust for angle. This one's taken from a low angle, so I got to be careful. I can't twist that too much. All right, let's see. Let's adjust this one now. All right. Get that one lined up a little bit better there. Perfect. This one's angled a little weird. Man, must have been in a rush here. It's just really screwing up the angles on these ones. That's okay. I'm really been liking this playlist recently. I'm getting better and better. I kind of like the negative space above him. I kind of want to center him. Give both people on either side of him equal presence, you know? I'm only catching Reed's face here, so I kind of want to cut out a little bit of Omar's. Nope, can't go that way. I gotta go this way. Oh, right about there. Yeah, I like that. I like that. This is balanced photos, more balanced. I love the angles here. We've got a triangle there. We got a square here. Good. There's a word for that. Specific composition. I don't remember what it is. If you guys know, let me know. I'm gonna bring this in a little bit. Cut out some of that dead space. So shadow, very wide angle, right? 28 millimeters. So naturally it's going to look warped. Go. This I can actually correct a little bit of lens correction. Oh, it's already on there. Never mind. I take it all back. Can't correct anything. It's uncorrectable. This one's really wonky. What's funny is, like, I don't even know, like, I think that back might be the right angle. Actually, might make this wider. Do a nice 16:9 here. Her face. This might be like the best photo in here. All right, so we're correcting the angle on all these. It seems boring and monotonous, but it has to be done. I love the hands over here too. It's the background. It's a good one. It's good. Nothing correct there. Yeah, just line up just a little bit more, a little bit better there. I think. This one. Oh, Wallace is back. That's good. Let's go ahead and 16:9 this one. Don't need all that other negative space in there. Same with this one. 16:9. It'll kind of focus in on our subjects a little bit more. I don't need quite so much space. I'll line up that there. Yeah, there we go. That's better. I'm not liking how faded he looks. I think I really need to add more dehaze. Careful, it adds more contrast though too, so just be aware of that. So I'm going to center him in this one. And that'll take out some of that negative space of the chairs, right? Tricks. Tricks are for kids. This one, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay. Add a little bit more dehaze to this one. Go. Sometimes you gotta dehaze some stuff, you know? This one's not centered. Bring this in just a little bit. Go. Right about there. Still think we need to dehaze or take out some purple. Might take out some purple of this one. There we go. That looks better. All right, let's go here. This one's not quite level. You can tell by the stand on the stage. You gotta always like use stuff like the edge of the screen or the stand here. It's hard when you do take photos at different angles, though. Makes it more difficult. Have him kind of centered here. That's a good one. Same with this one. Kind of have him centered. So we're giving them options. Similar photos, different expressions. So they have options. And look how I'm getting that thirds line up here on the eyes. That's a well-composed photo. I can line this one up kind of amazing. I didn't think I was capable of it. Actually taking a photo straight. All right, so we're getting these as straight as we can. Here, I like this one a lot. This photo's a little warped, I think. Is it? No, lens corrections are on. All right, I guess I'm just going crazy. Like I said, you look at the same photos too long, you start to go crazy. There. Let's line up the eyes. Boom. Get him kind of in the center. Boom. Yep. Giving him plenty of room. Plenty of room for this photo to breathe. The client can crop as they see fit. Oops. It's a good one. I want to keep his shoes in it, though. I'm not going to line up that thirds. Go. I can get that out of there. I'm going to do that. 4x5, this one. Correct the angle. I'm using the drum cage behind to kind of guide me on the angle. 4x5, this one. Kind of bring him over to the left side now because he's facing to the right, right? So I can weight this photo more to my subject more to the left. Left is that way. Sorry, getting used to the camera stuff. More to the left that way, so that he's weighted on that side. So it's great about having a subject look one direction. You got a little bit more play in the picture. I'm gonna 4x5 this one too. See if I can get out the water bottle and the light. Does this look a little too pink to you? I don't know. I'm not going to play with it anymore. I don't know why we kept this photo, but I think it was because of the face he was making. Let him laugh about that one later. Boom. It's looking good. All right, so we're getting them all lined up. We're nearing the end now. I don't know if I want as much negative space above his head on this one. You gotta like it like this. I like the guitarist in the background. I love the boom, 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 boom. You know, it's good composition there. A little too much negative space down here, but whatever. Let's dehaze this one a little bit more. Oh, damn, we're already dehazing it a lot. All right, we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it. It's good photos, just not straight. There we go. That's straight. Showing off that bicep curl. So it's definitely not straight. You have to use the table here kind of as a measurement for what straight is. The highlights are a little too high. This one too. There we go. See, if I turn the pinks down, it looks much better. Turn them down just a little bit for this one. Turn down for that one too. Turn it down for all of them. Turn it down for what? Music's getting me kind of fucking amped. All right, let's go there. This one, this table leg is my guide here. How I know what straight is. But then these guys are kind of at an angle too. Oh, man, I gotta fix it. There we go. That's... Am I going crazy here? Can somebody tell me if this is straight or not? My eyes. My eyes. Wish I got her full feet in there. Other than that, this picture's fine. Gotta get the exit sign out of there. 4x5 it. Save ourselves. Leave it kind of like that. I want a 16:9 this, and I'll place her in the middle. Get the guitarist in the background, her hand pointing straight up to that light. It's almost perfect. I love this photo. This is a good one too. This photo, we're gonna straighten now. Crop it in. Love the amount of stuff going on here. Take out some of that. Catch her there. Let's mask out this floor. Let's darken that. Let's also add a linear gradient up here. I want to kind of get the really highlight this kind of angle here, right? This photo is too pink. Oh my goodness, I'm already going so green on it. Right in there. But it's also too blue. It's got to come really far to the yellow. Right in there. And now I might have to take out some of the yellow saturation. You know? Yellow and orange saturation a little bit. So now we're bringing this back to like a... See, now I can solve all this by just going to white balance and clicking the little auto white balance thing and seeing how it does. But that's no fun, right? I like white balancing these photos myself. Still a little too much pink and yellow in the photo. But it's looking more normal. I'm liking that more. I almost want to do another. I almost want to create a fake ray through here. Bring up the midtones and the shadows. You know, let's try it. Shift M, radial gradient. Let's create a real narrow one. Put it right here in the middle. Let's angle it. Right here. And now let's bring up shadows. Right through there. Let's bring up the blacks. Almost creating that fake ray of light through here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Add a little bit of warmth to it. Add a little bit of warmth to it. Bring those blacks back down. Might have to go back and increase the denoise. Okay. Kind of liking this. I kind of like the grain in it too. I'm almost thinking about, let's add a little bit more grain back into it. Am I crazy? Not too much. Let's just do a little. There we go. Let's go there. Let's go there. Okay. Can't play with this too much. Now we got this kind of like almost light ray through it. Let's see how far we come. Look, that's the original photo, right? It's the edited one. We didn't have a whole lot to work with here originally. This photo kind of sucked, but the emotion was there. So, you know, playing with the photo, getting things to where you want it to go, you can create something amazing. You know, look at that. This is a, I'm liking this photo more and more. You know, I wish this big black thing wasn't up here. I wish maybe I had stood up and caught this at maybe a different angle. It would be a possibility to maybe get that out of there. But I mean, overall, it's not a horrible photo. All right, let's keep going. Let's not waste too much time. I love reading. All right, there we go. This one's got too much highlights. Go. This one just needs to be straightened. Let's mask out the floor a little bit for her. Go. That. Perfect. Perfect. I like that photo a lot too. Got some bangers out of this. All right. Let's export. I go to export. I have an Instagram setting I use. Export 58 files. Just going to take those. It's going to throw those over into a folder for me whenever it gets started. It looks like it's having a little bit of trouble figuring out what it wants to do. But all right. I think I figured it out. Hopefully I am not jittery right now on the stream. I don't know if I am. All right. Come on, come on, come on. I'll be able to deliver. All right, I'll show you my delivery file organization system. So these went into my client most recent folder. So now I have all the raws that I worked on. And now it automatically created me a finals folder. Inside the finals folder, same photos, just all the edited JPEGs ready to go. So, see, boom, here's our photos now. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted, right? Good one. There you go. That's how you edit. Editing done. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. If you're watching this after the stream, obviously there's no way for you to comment live, but just go to one of my other videos that hopefully I'll have out here soon. You can comment what you want to hear or see next, and I'll do that too. But, you know, once again, here's a cheers to another 45-minute stream with no viewers. It's just a YouTube life, though. Keep grinding. All right, guys. Peace.